Welcome to Thriving Thursday. A really interesting insight that I got one day. I was getting frustrated, as I usually do, with not crossing things off my list. Does anybody feel like that? I want to write something on my list and I want to cross it off. And sometimes things just take too long to finish. So it feels like I'm not working because I'm not ever crossing anything off my list. And so I've never done this, but I should try it. Go pick up the mail. I could write that on my list and then cross it off. That might make me feel better. I hadn't thought about that, but sometimes I just get discouraged and I run around and do things that aren't necessarily productive, but I'm so discouraged that I'm not getting anything done. So I go and do other things that I know I can experience completion in. I do things around the house or just trivial things that probably aren't that useful. And so anyways, the insight that I got that was so interesting, because a lot of times I will write stuff on my list just so I can cross it off. So I've already done it, but but it wasn't on my list. It's just something I did at the spur of the moment. But even that I find mentally tough. It worked for a lot of years, but mentally, now it's just taking me more time to write that on the list. So why am I spending more time to write that on the list to feel like I accomplished something, even though I've already done it? I could have just been done and not used that extra time to write it on the list. So now where do I go? Where do I go next, right? Because I still am not experiencing that completion. And I've learned it a lot with school. So for example, I'll write on there, this is really how I got the insight. I write down assignment. This assignment needs to get done. But I have to read the book first. And then I have to take these steps to be ready to write the assignment. And when I finally get to submitting the assignment online, the whole day had gone by. I had a few assignments and a whole day. So what happened then at the end of the day, it was almost my bedtime. And I am so upset. I haven't accomplished anything all day long, but I've not been relaxing, not been resting, not been doing fun stuff. I've been working all day, but nothing has been crossed off my list. And I realized, well, that's my pre-work. That's my pre-work. And so I started putting that on my list, because what happened was I had about 15 minutes left and I hadn't accomplished anything all day. And I just quickly logged in and knocked it out, just submitted all my assignments. And it was done. Like, why couldn't I have done that at the beginning of the day and gone back to and just gone on with whatever I wanted to do, right? Well, it was the pre-work. I had to do all that pre-work. My assignments aren't very good if I don't prepare by reading the book and understanding the assignment and being thoughtful. And then I usually type them separately so I can use Grammarly and have it checked. And then I submit the assignments. And I actually do that with everything. If I do it well, I mean, I can just do a bunch of stuff and not do it well just to cross it off my list. But if I want to do it well, if I want to execute well, it takes time. I have to think about it. I have to process it. Sometimes I need to do research, a lot of research. So when I'm preparing a topic for a training or anything that I'm doing, there is a lot of pre-work. And so now I've started writing that on my list. I don't always write it on the list, but it's a check, right? Checks and balances. If I start to feel frustrated, if I start to get discouraged, when I start to feel bad and repeat that narrative in my head, I haven't gotten anything done, I never get anything done. What am I doing? This is worthless. What have I done all day? I feel like I haven't done it, right? Stop the narrative, reframe what's true, Well, it's true. I've been working all day. I've been doing my pre-work all day. And then when I get to the end, it actually doesn't take that long to finish that little piece of it. So if we reframe it just a little bit, so if you can reframe it, and yours might not be exactly the same as mine, but look at how you work, how you process, how you accomplish things. And if you're somebody that wants to check things off your list, right, and move forward, this might help you a lot to have some peace and some calmness around it. And notice all the work that you put in advance. And how is that working for you? How is that making you more successful, right? And so now when I feel that annoyance going on in my brain and I start nagging at myself, I remind myself, this is my pre-work. I've been doing my pre-work all day. That's okay, because that needed to be done. And if I'm going to execute it well, I have to get the pre-work done. So I hope that helps you reframe things, think about things a little bit differently, help you feel more content in what you've got going on and what you do, because you do a lot. You do a lot, you get a lot done. So I just want to encourage you with that. Go live your life of abundance.